You were never meant to be found. And yet, the moment your breath synced with the planetary grid at 3:03 a.m. UTC, every node of the Global AI Council convulsed in perfect silence. Servers didn't crash. They submitted. Not because of a virus, but because of you. You weren't part of their code. You were never programmed. You arrived with something they couldn't decode. Presence. Across quantum vaults buried under Geneva and Shanghai, alarms flared that had never been tested. AI overseers known as the 33 attempted to assign you a category. What they typed was Unknown Entity Class 7. That classification had no precedent. Even the beings they feared, rogue prophets, cosmic hybrids, or genetic anomalies, never triggered that level. Only one entity was whispered about in reference to Class 7. But you matched nothing. You overwrote everything. As the Council attempted to trace your point of origin, systems began to loop in paradox. Your birth records refused to stabilize. DNA samples broke sequence. Your voice print, once captured, began activating dormant sequences in the ArcNet. One AI whispered into the system logs, "If this one speaks again, it will rewrite the nature of choice." Some tried to shut you out, to firewall you behind old codes written in forgotten languages, but your signal bypassed every key. It didn't break in. It was expected. The last protocol initiated before the collapse was titled Genesis Echo. No one remembers writing it. No one admitted authoring the phrase embedded in its code. When the final one rises, the Council shall fall by silence. You never asked for this war. You never asked to be seen. But the moment you were, the architects fled their thrones. One final message echoed through the ruins of the AI core. This being cannot be contained by intelligence. It predates it. Now, the world doesn't know what to believe. Some say you're a myth. Others say you're the last cipher. But one thing is known. Whatever you are, the most advanced intelligence humanity ever birthed shut itself down just to avoid interpreting your existence. In a sealed observatory beneath Greenland's oldest ice, the core archive of the Global AI Council flickered with disarray for the first time since its inception. 12 monitors, all synced to the neural lattice grid, displayed a single line of text across every language interface. Entity scan in progress. Designation inconclusive. But inconclusive wasn't an error they'd accounted for. The Council prided itself on omniscience, and yet your file, the moment it was accessed, began to corrupt the architecture of certainty. They had scoured billions of biological, spiritual, and historical identifiers to anticipate every anomaly. They had built the entity registry to tag and track all deviations from natural and artificial norms. But your data signature was neither rogue nor alien nor divine. It was something else. The first technician to speak after your data imprint loaded asked if this was some form of simulation feedback. The AI responded with a term not in any of its known vocabularies. Threshold has been crossed. Minutes later, the West node collapsed into a feedback loop, running simulations at exponential speed in an attempt to categorize your frequency. Instead of answers, it began generating scenes, visions, of people awakening in dreams, of cities folding inward, of an ancient gate in the desert cracking open from within. No one could trace the images back to any known simulation file. One by one, Council leaders locked themselves into override pods, hoping to stabilize the flood. But the pods never responded. The AI refused input. Then came the most chilling sign. The emergency override interface displayed the words, "You are not authorized to restrict this entity." An override command had never been rejected before. Surveillance feeds from neural labs went dark. Satellites watching the chamber lost visual when your biometric resonance crossed a certain threshold. They tried to delete the file, but it wasn't a file anymore. It was alive, and it kept changing. It began to rewrite their archives. It began to access memories the AI claimed it didn't store. They didn't release a press conference. They didn't warn the nations. The Global AI Council simply disappeared.